Hey, it's me again. Let's continue with my. I know I go back and forth. I only did like two music streams, but I'm busy. Let's just get back into the 3D stuff and hopefully, let's make some fucking graffiti and then finally just take a break from this. No, for real. My plan is to properly make like some actual graffiti, not just old renders that are not very graffiti like. And I have a few ideas, like a few things I have in mind that I want to do. So I'm just gonna cut the mic, I'm just gonna chill out and just get to it. But one thing I wanted to show, not that pose, but this cool After Effects thing that I stole from an older project of mine. I didn't do this just off camera. Like this is just copied and pasted. And yeah, if you're interested in that, I can link you the tutorial I used to do that. But I'm not gonna go over and explain how I did this all because, to be honest with you, it's geometry nodes, and I just don't understand that shit. I mean, I sort of, but not to the extent that I would like. Anyway, that's enough preamble for what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna zone out. I'm gonna attempt to make graffiti, like for the city kind of theme thing here I'm doing. And I just full disclosure, like I am not a graffiti guy. Like I don't really do graffiti in general, so this might be a bit amateur, so to speak. But it's just something I feel like is the last little touch I can add to the scene before I actually switch over and start working on the music stuff again. Because I'll be honest, like yeah, I've been itching to actually get this animation done, right? And but yeah, it one step at a time kind of thing, right? Everything happens one one step, right? Like like I don't know what else to say. Also, I made this cool rain effect. I was actually trying to make clouds. Like they looked a lot more like clouds before, and I was trying to do like a background kind of thing. Like you'd have like clouds in the background, but I eventually leaned towards just making like, again, I'm not gonna go over it all. Like the motion blur really kills the look of it, but you can kind of see there's like streaks of these like lines coming down, right? And I just have it I just have that parented to the, yeah, you can't really see it, but I have it parented to like him running, so it's like he's always running in the rain, and I think it's kind of fitting. Like it kind of fits the whole like the theme of the city being all well wet. Anyway, that's yeah. I'm just gonna get into it. I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on what I was doing here. I mean, it looks kind of cool. I like the trailing effect. Like, obviously, he's supposed to be running faster, and I don't know if I'll keep it. I might use it for like maybe use it for like the animation, but from what I'm seeing, I don't think it really lines up with what I have in mind right now. Also, it's kind of weird because it like stretches out. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, like look, it like stretches. Anyway, yeah, let's just get into it. I'm not gonna play music. I'm just gonna play with some like ambient stuff and just have it on in the background and basically just cut the mic and get to it. So without further ado, I'm just gonna turn off all this extra stuff here. Let's finally make some graffiti, or try to. I know I've been saying this for like a minute now. I know I want to do graffiti. I want to do, but now I'm actually like, I'm ready now. I just gotta find a material to copy. Hue emission, yeah. Oh, whatever. I'll just copy something. Don't worry about it. Let's get into it. Also, I wanted to make a quick mention. This might be a shorter stream because well, I don't want to stream for too long. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I just wanted to give that just mention that as well. That I'm probably gonna cut it off early than the usual streams. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I'm hoping it won't go on as long, but you never know with these things. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Let's just get into it. Yo, Mr. Impeccable. Sorry, I didn't. I had the chat minus. What was that? Like minus. I don't know what you talk. I don't know how you describe it. It's like the window wasn't open. It was like minimized. That's the fucking word I'm looking for. What are you saying? Yeah, it's kind of why I give that disclaimer that sometimes I'll just be like in it. You know what I mean? So like, I don't mean to ignore people. It just happens. Yeah, I think he left, but that's all good. Alright, it's been almost 2 hours on the stream, and I didn't realize this video was paused the whole time. Damn. Anyway, it's been about, like I said, 2 hours on the stream, and I am pretty satisfied with how this turned out. Like, it might be a bit generic, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just like that's the best I could come up with for graffiti, I guess. But compare it to, let me just copy it over so I don't like overwriting it, like the stuff I do. Let's just do a quick comparison here. So like, okay, maybe this isn't the best way to do the comparison. I'll put it on a different wall. Let's find, yeah, this wall, nice and empty. So I'll just throw them side by side, and I can explain a little bit of. I probably don't have to explain much. I mean, I'm assuming if you've been watching the stream, you already know you already know what's going on. So initially I started with just the one on the left, just the lettering, and tried to make it look like, from a distance it looks like paint is dripping, up close it looks kind of ugly. But I think adding that emblem just ever so slightly in the background, it's faded, it's a bit like, it's not too noticeable, but it just works, to quote Todd Howard. Like, I love it. I'm not even gonna lie, like, I love that. So I think moving forward, I'm gonna try a few other ideas. I'm not just gonna use my name repeatedly, because that'd be kind of lame. But I am going to try this color randomizer. So I do intend to paste this more and more, but I wanted to have, like, different colors and stuff, because to me that's just so cool. Like, you know what I mean? And of course, I can adjust like how bright they. Oh fuck, I like that actually. It's like a neon. Or I can do like just black and white, make them really really saturated and stuff. But yeah, fun stuff. So I am, like I said, I'm pretty damn happy with how this turned out. And I learned a few new tricks with painting stuff, right? I finally started using stencils. Stencils being like this thing, right? Anyway, I don't need to explain much, because I'm sure a lot of you are like, what the fuck is he talking about? But you can see, like that is the whole texture, like the painted texture, but with all the effects and everything I have on it, it kind of fades, and I like the color I'm not even gonna lie, I love these colors, variations. So again, I'm not just a kid. I'm not just gonna repeatedly use like one name, right? That's kind of boring. But I do oh shit. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's dope. I'm trying to get a red one. I want to see a red one. Come on. Oh, there we go. Alright, I think we had. No, it was like pink. But yeah, like that looks sick. Like I like the red one. Like I know I kind of prefer the original blue, but the red one looks pretty dope too. But yeah, like that's the plan moving forward. So I'm thinking I'll do like a letter, like a tag, I guess you would call it. I wanted to do like bubble letters, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to do bubble letters in pixel art, especially with the limited canvas, right? Because I'm using a 128 by 128 texture. It's basically a square, right? So you have a square of like low resolution pixel art, and trying to do bubble letters on it is kind of a pain in the ass. So I think moving forward, I will just go with like the whole tag, like a word or a name, and then try to do like a picture kind of thing in the background. We'll see. Like I'm not too sure, but definitely looks much more polished than the first attempt I had at graffiti stuff. Like, it looked alright, I'm not gonna lie, but like I just like the idea of like where, you know, like obviously it's one, you know, it's my name, it's kind of like pretentious, but like what I mean is like I like the idea of having yeah, the good, this mic's on. I was like, man, if I'm talking to like on muted mic, I like the idea of just throwing words onto buildings, you know, like tags and stuff like that. It just, or you know, like these look okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they look alright, but they look a little bit too clean for graffiti. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I'm thinking I gotta see these colors again. Like, damn. But I don't know why I'm getting so into this. I'm like, oh, the yellow and purple actually looks pretty dope. I like that. But yeah, so yeah, I just like, I think this is the direction I want to go in, and I love the fact that it's glowing. I don't know why. I don't know, like maybe real graffiti isn't like this neon glowing shit, but hey, this is 3D, okay? Like, I get to bend the rules a little bit, you know what I mean? Like it. Oh wait, hold up. I gotta do one thing now. I gotta do one thing. Take this, throw it over here, and get a different color. Just delete this red one. And you know, I could do like other you know, like types of graffiti. It's like stings, you know, like Titan stings or Titan like crossed out kind of thing. That's kind of why I did variations. Where I was like, I'll do a base lettering one, and it looks okay. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks dope. And I'll probably do more of these simple, I don't know what you call them, tags or just words. You know, I'm gonna try and reference like beat 'em up games. You know, like Go with like an arrow. Excuse me. You know, like fun stuff like that. Or, you know, maybe like, cause like I don't want to just go on Spriter's Resource, grab like some assets from a Streets of Rage game, and then just use them, right? Because part of the fun is coming up with it on my own. And, you know, it kind of adds like that charm to it. But I think I'll try and include some references to like, you know, like video games, like, you know, like maybe like a box of pizza or something like that. You know what I mean? If you played like beat 'em up games, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like that's the plan. Just make more and more variations of this graffiti. I don't know how, if I'm gonna take like a full 2 fucking hours to do it again, but maybe not. But I just want to see with the motion blur, how, like with the camera blur, if it's readable. Sort of. It's not bad. I mean, it makes sense, right? It is like blurred out. And one other thing I want to check. I know this makes me look so fucking like full of myself or pretentious, but you gotta understand, like, this is just one piece of graffiti, and I'm testing it, you know, I'm just testing how the colors look when I duplicate them. But let me just do this. And of course they're all backwards. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I just want to see how they look in the distance, right? Because the idea being like with the words, with the tags, with the symbols. Oh yeah, that was my early graffiti. This is my very early attempt at graffiti. A little bit too pixely. This has a little bit more grit and you know, like, I obviously, like, as I've been working on this, I've been picking up like a couple techniques of like how to play with the opacities and how to layer on the effects like that, so certain colors can like. It's not all done like hand painted. A lot of it is just using opacity and brush types and stencils. It gives it a much cleaner look, or like a more grittier, realistic look. Like this is okay, but this looks like a fucking yield sign or something. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this graffiti's been turning out. So I was kind of skeptical. Like I didn't really want to just use these renders because nothing wrong with just using them. Like again, I can use that whole. Did I have it? No, I didn't. I prefer to use these random hues because I personally I feel like it just adds more variation. If you're just seeing the same image with the same color, it gets kind of stale. To be honest, I did use it in a few of these objects. You have like a simple base color, and then you anyway, and then you it's just fun. It looks more appealing to me. That's it. I'm just doing it because it's fun. Okay, like I don't need to explain myself too much. Maybe to some degree, but. And it goes the same for these plants, I think, yeah. But they have a limit on them. I could make them more, like, colorful. And I might, I actually might, now that I think about it. Because they could be decorative pieces too, right? Like, I don't know, it's like maybe there's... Move this spaceship out of the way and... Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end the stream here. I feel like it went on for a little bit. It went on for just the right amount of time. I think 2 hours is pretty decent. And it did give me time to just focus and refine a new technique of mine. And I don't know, like I said, I am not... Oh, excuse me. I am not a graffiti artist. I don't tag buildings. I think it would be kind of fun to do, actually, now after playing around with this. I think it might be fun. Maybe go find, like, some, those sea cans, as they're called. I don't know what the technical term is. It's like shipping container, I guess, but I call them sea cans. It just sounds cooler. But, I don't know. This project's got me kind of wanting to, like, I don't know, it's been teaching me a lot of new things. You know what I mean? But now I'm kind of feeling like, how to say it? It's like if I can do it in 3D, if I can paint with a mouse and, do all this crap in like a digital software, then it might be fun to try it out in real life. Pick up like a pen and paper and start sketching stuff and legally go, or it doesn't even have to be like tagging. It could just be like spray painting a picture or something, right? One of my boys does painting stuff like that. He's been doing it for like forever, man. Like, but he's really good at it, right? And I've seen his work grow throughout the years. It's been fucking incredible, man. I'm so happy for him. Like legit. Like every time I see his art, I'm like, yeah, like that's my fucking boy right there. And I think maybe next time I visit him, if he's got time to spare, because he is a busy man. Might be like, yo, why don't we, bust out the spray paint, give me a canvas, and let's just fucking kick it, man. Like, let's... Again, I know the skill set of, like, on a computer is completely different from, like, in person, but... Like I said, I think it'd just be something fun to try and, like, try, right? The key word is try. Get into it a little bit, and... Again, I don't know, it's this... project, man, like this 3D stuff like changes a guy. You know what I mean? Like feels weird that like maybe a month or so ago, maybe like 2 months now, but like this used to be just so basic looking, and honestly I didn't think I would really get this far into it. I was thinking it might just be like a one-off thing. I'll just sitting on my hard drive, but like honestly it's been a blast. I've been like, and I haven't been doing these things intentionally, like these raindrops. It was never intentional. I was just trying to make clouds. And then I played around with the shader stuff, and then they turned into like these thin strips. And I was like, well, if I can move the strips, like, you know, through shaders, then I could simulate a sort of like rainfall effect. And I'm like, well, if I can do that, then I could probably just attach this like plane like this to the camera. And before you know it, it's like, alright, well, now it looks like it's raining like every time he runs. And it kind of makes sense for rain, because if you look at these streets, they are shiny-ish. You know, they have that wetness look to them. But this is not intentional. Like, this all was just built up over time of like different skill sets coming together, like different pieces of knowledge being put together, and it kind of forms like a bigger picture. Like, it's the best way I can describe it. Like, it was not intentional for me to make like wet, rainy streets. I was just playing with like, you know, the roughness values. Like, I don't want to get too into it because it's like technical and it's gonna bog down when I'm like winding down on the stream, but it's been an incredible journey. Let me just say that. Like, doing this 3D stuff and like just slowly learning, you know, like just pushing myself to just dedicate the time I need to do what I'm doing. It's been incredible, and I'm hoping I can do the same with like my music, right? Like, I feel like my music is like one of my weaker points at this point. But I'm hoping that I can take the same lessons and mentality in this project and use it for, you know, better and better music moving forward. It's like I said at the beginning, right? Like, this whole project was just a bunch of smaller pieces coming together to form something even bigger. And, you know, some of it's like reused assets from like other projects, like these cars were like these cars were definitely reused from like a different project of mine. And even these like running trails, like these blue running trails on like, these are reused from a different project too, right? So, but it's been cool. It's been awesome. Like I honestly can't complain. I'm really proud and happy of how this has been turning out, and it's strange. Life is weird like that. I didn't think I never saw myself getting into any of this, to be honest. Like, years ago, I never thought I would be doing this. It just kind of feels weird sometimes. But anyway, it just kind of, I don't know, I guess people just change over time, right? People develop new hobbies and, you know, different interests, and kind of just follow their passions, right? Or they try to. I don't know. I mean, anyway, I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to like lecture everybody about all this bullshit. But let's just have one quick look at this. These background elements will definitely need to be adjusted, but also it's kind of cool. Like, if I rewind it, you can kind of see like you know how it's a camera blur, but then when you look through the trails, it's like in focus again. So it is kind of like a cool effect. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like looking through a magnifying glass or something. I was wondering, like, I was trying to wrap my head around why this looked so weird, but now it makes more sense. Like, anyway, I'm gonna end the stream here. I don't think I'm gonna play the streaming bumper because I just want to end the stream at this point. And to be honest, I feel like the streaming bumper is, I don't know, it's not that special, to be honest. It's more of like an away thing. I try to use it for outros, but honestly, I don't think, sometimes I think it's just better to just close the stream and not worry about doing those outros. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this turns out. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I actually want this, like, in real life now. I'm like, yo, like, give me that. And I tell myself, it's like, no. It's like, you can't have it. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. And thank you for tuning in or watching. And my apologies to Mr. Impeccable. He says, "Hey man, what's up? Doing good." And I forgot to answer him that yes, I am doing good. I'm chilling like a villain, and I'm working on these graffiti things now. And I didn't get to him in time. I had the window minimized, so next time, Mr. Impeccable, next time when our paths meet, hopefully I'll have that window open so I won't miss you again. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Like I already said, thank you for everything, and yeah, I don't know what next stream is gonna be. I'm thinking I have a bit of momentum, so I think I might just continue with the graffiti stuff. Like I said, like this is like the last stretch of like, okay, I've done my graffiti. I can start tagging buildings and stuff, preferably with different tags, not just my name. And then I can switch gears back to music properly. Before I was a bit distracted. I was still thinking about the graffiti. But from there, I should be able to focus, start refining some tracks, or make something that's a little bit more polished for this animation. And then when I get back to 3D, I can properly, I can start thinking about a proper layout. Like adjust the background elements, like everything's cohesive and whatever. And then I can finally do the animation, and hopefully by then the music should be done and not touched again, so I can properly animate to the music. The story beats, whatever you want to call it. And, this was meant to just be a little test project, but it's kind of blossomed into something bigger, so I think towards the end of all that, I will start thinking about packaging this, like these assets, like these assets into my third asset pack. So before we go, if you look at my banner, right, it says retro low poly 3D asset packs and music, right? So far, I've done 2 of these. The first one was called Floral Green. It was all about trees and nature. The second one was called Dungeon Red, and you can imagine what that was about. So this one, I've yet to come up with a banner or like a name for it, but I think if we look at it, it will be city themed. And yeah, so anyway, but that's for later. I'm gonna focus on getting my music and animation done, and then I'll think about packaging everything and doing the whole asset pack thing again. They are fun to do, I'm not gonna lie, like they're pretty fun to do, but they do take a long time because, well, if you haven't noticed, this whole channel is just me running the show, so like I don't have like a production crew or anything, so I just do this when I get time, essentially, is what I'm saying. So don't expect these assets anytime soon. And like I said, I've said this like months ago, but they may be subject to change, right? Like certain things may change and not be as you see them now. But hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and yeah, just looking at all this, I'm like, fuck, like it's. I get it. People always ask me, is this a game? Your game looks cool, but no, this is not a game. But I will admit, I would love to see a game made using these assets. And you never know, maybe that person to make that game would be me. But as it stands, I don't really have an interest in game development at the moment. For me, it's just music and 3D, so. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I've rambled way too much, and I was closing it, then I kept rambling. So I already said what I need to say. And I'm gonna say nothing else except yeah, I'm out. Peace.